We all know the red and white Austrian flag. However, if you look at the history of Austria, you will see this flag in particular. But also this one or this one. The black and gold flag is probably one of the most famous flags in history and was flown as Austria's national flag for a long time when it was one of the most powerful states in Europe. But what happened to this flag? Where did the red and white symbolism suddenly come from, and what other flags have there been in history? We take a look at all these exciting questions in today's video. In fact, today's red and white flag is older than most other European flags. Its history goes back deep into a combination of legends and real events. However, its origins probably date back to the year 1191. During the siege of Ptolemy, today's Acre in Israel, Duke Leopold V of Austria courageously led his troops into battle against the Saracens. It was during the Crusades, a time when knights from all over Europe set out to recapture the Holy Land. The fighting was fierce and the battlefield was a place of chaos, noise and bloodshed. But when the dust settled and victory was won, Leopold returned to his troops, exhausted from the fighting. His white robe was almost completely soaked in the blood of fallen friends and foes, a testament to the day's fierce fighting. But when he removed his belt, which had been strapped tightly around his waist throughout the battle, a pristine white stripe was revealed. An area that had been spared from the bloodshed. This striking image, the deep red blood framing the pure white, became a symbol of courage, sacrifice and hope. At least that is the legend. Back in Austria, this vision became a lasting symbol. It is said that Leopold V was so impressed and moved by the sight that he decided to adopt this color combination, two stripes of red with a stripe of white in between, as the official banner for his duchy. And so the red and white has a clear symbolism to this day. The red, which dominates the flag at both ends, is traditionally associated with courage, strength and the shedding of blood on behalf of the nation. It recalls the sacrifice of those who fell for the country and emphasizes the courage of those who fought for Austria's freedom and sovereignty. In the middle of the powerful red is the white stripe, which symbolizes purity and innocence. It will be seen as a contrast to the red blood of battles and wars, a reminder of the peace the nation longs for and the pure intentions and ideals that guide the country. Taken together, these colors form a harmonious balance between battle and peace, courage and purity, past and future. The Austrian shield, consisting of the red-white-red horizontal stripes, thus has a long and significant history, yet alongside this symbol there is another important flag in the country's history, particularly during the Habsburg Empire era. During the following centuries, when the House of Habsburg was one of the most powerful ruling dynasties in Europe, the black and yellow flag was used as a symbol of this mighty empire. The colors black and gold come from the coat of arms colors of the Holy Roman Empire. The black eagle on a golden background was the main heraldic symbol of the empire, and these colors were thus closely associated with the Habsburgs, who were the emperors of the Holy Roman Empire for several centuries. As the Habsburgs rose to the rank of emperors, the black and yellow flag became a symbol of their dynastic power and the extensive territory they controlled. This color combination was often flown alongside the red-white-red flag to symbolize the connection between the Habsburg Empire and the heartland of Austria. This means that the red and white flag was still used for certain institutions, for example in the military, but the black and gold flag was now the official flag of Austria. Later, however, the red and white flag became the naval and maritime flag of the empire. However, with the end of the First World War and the collapse of the monarchy in the year 1918, the black and yellow flag lost its official significance. The newly founded Austria, which was now a republic, chose the Bindenschild, i.e. the red-white-red flag, as its official symbol, as a result of which the black and yellow flag largely faded into the background. While the Social Democrats under Karl Renner advocated that a revolutionary black-red-gold, as the antithesis to the monarchy and the House of Habsburg and as the synthesis with the German Republic, the Christian Socials under Wilhelm Miklas saw the venerable Babenberg and Crusade colors red-white-red, as a sign of continuity. When the Republic was proclaimed in front of the Vienna Parliament on November 12, 1918, red-white-red flags were to be hoisted. However, radical members of the Red Guard, a new paramilitary organization, tore the white stripes from the red-white-red flags and raised the red remnants again. Some of the crowd cheered, but the vast majority remained silent and wanted nothing to do with a socialist or republic. The newly formed First Republic thus adopted the traditional symbol of the Habsburg multi-ethnic state, the red-white-red navy and naval flag, as the Austrian state flag in the year 1919. However, many people will probably still be thinking of the time of the Austro-Hungarian dual monarchy, when this flag was mostly used. Although it is true that it is often associated with the empire, it was never the official flag of Austria-Hungary. In reality, they did not have a common national flag. Only this naval and navy flag and the following merchant flag. And the latter is still often used today as a symbol for Austria-Hungary, although it was never actually the state flag. In fact, both parts of the empire continued to use their old flags. So Austria used this one and Hungary this one. And after the First World War, Austria then adopted the red and white flag, as already mentioned. This only changed again during the Second World War. With the Anschluss, the red-white-red flag disappeared from Austrian public life. Instead, it was replaced by the swastika flag, a red cloth with a white circle in the middle containing a black swastika. During the Anschluss, all symbols of Austrian sovereignty and identity were systematically suppressed. The country was divided into Ägäis and ruled by National Socialist Gauleiters. Austria's history and culture were rewritten or ignored in line with Nazi ideology, and so was the flag. It was not until the end of the Second World War in the year 1945 and the liberation from Nazi rule that the red-white-red flag was raised again, symbolizing the regaining of Austrian sovereignty and the turning away from the dark days of National Socialism. The State Treaty of 1955, which also ended the occupation by the Allies, sealed the restoration of Austria's full sovereignty. It stipulated that Austria was to be an independent and neutral state. The red-white-red flag was prominently displayed during the signing ceremony and served as a visual affirmation of Austrian independence. Since then, the flag has stood for the democratic values and principles of the Second Republic. It also symbolizes Austria's commitment to peace, neutrality and cooperation in the international community. But even though the basic structure of the Austrian flag is fixed, there are different variants and interpretations depending on the context in which it is used. For state purposes and official occasions, the flag is often presented with the Austrian coat of arms in the middle of the white stripe. This coat of arms shows a single-headed, black and gold eagle with a mural crown, hammer and sickle and broken chains, all symbols that represent various aspects of Austrian history and identity. However, the size and proportions of the flag can also vary. On some occasions it is displayed in a longer format, on others in an almost square proportion, depending on the context. There is also a civil version without the coat of arms, which is more commonly used at non-official events or by the general population. This version is simpler, but just as powerful in its expressiveness. Incidentally, the former black and gold flag has strong similarities with other flags still in use today, such as those of Baden-Württemberg and Munich. In contrast, we find the white and red symbolism primarily in the flags of Austrian federal states. Vienna, Upper Austria and Tyrol, for example, use it.